There's a video that went viral a few years ago. A man walks into a lion sanctuary in Africa. He calls out a name, and a massive lion, one he raised as a cub but hadn't seen in over 5 years, comes charging at him full speed. Everyone watching thinks they're about to witness something terrible, but the lion doesn't attack. It leaps into his arms, nuzzles his face, acts like a puppy that's been waiting by the door all day. 5 years. That's longer than most people keep a phone. And this lion remembered everything. So here's the question. Is this unique to lions? Or do all animals have this kind of memory? And if your childhood dog could see you today after a decade apart, would they even know who you are? The answer isn't just yes or no, it's far more fascinating than that. Let's start with what we know. Animal memory isn't like human memory. We remember in stories, in context, in language. Animals don't have that. What they have is something arguably more powerful: associative memory. A 2011 study tested whether dolphins could remember each other after 20 years of separation. They played signature whistles, unique sounds each dolphin makes, basically their name, and the dolphins responded. Not just to recent companions, to dolphins they hadn't seen in 2 decades. Dogs remember their previous owners for at least 2 years, possibly much longer. They don't just remember your face, they remember your scent, your voice, your gait, the way you walk. You could change your hair, your weight, your entire appearance. Your dog would still know you the moment you opened your mouth or took 3 steps. But memory is only half the story. The real question is, do they care that they remember you? Because an animal could remember you the same way you remember your 3rd grade teacher's name. It's stored information, but it doesn't trigger emotion. Except that's not what happens. When animals reunite with people they bonded with, their bodies respond. A 2017 study measured cortisol levels, stress hormones, in shelter dogs reunited with their previous owners. The moment they recognized their owner, cortisol dropped. Heart rate stabilized. These weren't just neutral memories, they were emotionally loaded ones. Elephants are even more extreme. There's a documented case of an elephant named Shirley. She was reunited with another elephant, Jenny, after 22 years apart. They'd spent less than a few months together in a circus decades earlier. When they saw each other again, they became inseparable. Researchers said their reaction was unlike anything they'd seen. Vocalization, touching, refusing to leave each other's side. Most humans can't remember what they had for lunch last Tuesday. But these elephants remembered a bond formed in a traumatic environment over 2 decades ago. Not every interaction leaves the same mark. Animals remember peaks and valleys, high emotion, high stakes. Horses are a perfect example. A horse never forgets the person who hurt them, but they also never forget the person who saved them. A horse rescued from abuse will remember their rescuer for life. This is called emotional conditioning. The brain prioritizes survival. If you were a source of safety, comfort, or danger, you get filed in long-term memory. Cats, famously aloof, actually remember their owners for years. A cat will remember the person who played with them every night, the person who just filled the food bowl. Less likely. It's not that animals have bad memory. It's that their memory is efficient. It holds on to what mattered. Now here's the part that's hard to think about. If animals remember you, they also remember your absence. There are countless stories of dogs waiting at train stations for owners who never came home. Hachiko in Japan, Greyfriars Bobby in Scotland. These aren't myths. These are documented cases of animals who couldn't reconcile the memory of a person with the reality that they weren't coming back. Parrots bond so deeply with their owners that rehoming a parrot can trigger depression. Some parrots refuse to bond again. They just wait. For years. When you give up a pet, move away, or lose contact, do they understand? Or do they just keep waiting for you to come back? But there's a flip side. The reunions. When they happen, they're extraordinary. Christian the lion, raised by 2 men in London, released into the wild in Africa, reunited a year later. The footage shows a lion sprinting toward them, full force, jumping, hugging, soldiers returning home after years of deployment. Their dogs lose their minds. Not the normal, you were gone for an hour excitement. Full body, uncontrollable, can't even function joy. That reaction isn't learned. It's not trained. It's recognition combined with relief. Animals don't experience time the way we do. Yet when reunions happen, it's like no time has passed. The bond reactivates instantly. It's not that they forgot you. It's that their love for you doesn't have an expiration date. So, do animals remember you after years apart? Yes. Not as a vague recollection, as a living, breathing, emotional imprint that doesn't decay with time. They remember your scent, your voice, the way you made them feel. And if you mattered to them, if you were a source of safety, love, or even pain, you're in there, permanently. Dogs remember for years, elephants for decades, parrots for lifetimes. The question isn't whether they remember, it's whether we deserve to be remembered the way they remember us. Because here's the truth, we move on. We get new pets, new homes, new lives, we assume they do the same, but they don't. When an animal loves you, it's not conditional. It's not temporary. It's wired into their brain as deeply as instinct. So if there's an animal in your past that you loved and lost touch with, just know this, they didn't forget you. And if you ever get the chance to see them again, don't hesitate. Because the reunion won't just mean something to you, it'll mean everything to them. Drop a comment if you've ever reunited with a pet after years apart. And if you want more truth about animals, hit subscribe. We're just getting started at IdeaSpark.